Hey guys, welcome back. Another episode. Yesterday we talked about villains. Today let's talk about the protagonists, the heroes. Usually heroes are actually an easier character to write for most people because they tend to get all the focus, at least for the author. However, writing a protagonist in a way that makes them really interesting actually can backfire, oddly enough. It's why in many of the most popular movies, the most interesting character is the sidekick, or the snarky type of character who is the secondary. You got Han Solo in Star Wars, Jack Sparrow in the first Pirates of the Caribbean, and you see when Jack Sparrow moves into the limelight, suddenly the movies start to become less interesting. There's different ideas on why this is. One of the most popular is that the hero character should be a blank face. That is kind of a generic character that the reader or the viewer can project themselves onto. I'm not entirely sure if I believe that because I tend to like characters that have their own motivations, that have definitely their own characters. And in my experience from my readers, I don't think that the majority of my readers identify with a special forces a female special forces trainer, for example, with the Silver Wings books. However, there is some evidence that supports this. And you can actually look through many of the most popular books and series that we've seen in the last 20, 30, 40 years and see that a lot of the main characters are actually kind of boring. Harry Potter's another example of this, where the main character is really somewhat the least interesting character in the entire series. Now, I don't think it's a good idea to intentionally set out to do this, but it is something that we should be thinking about, at least in terms of, do we think this is a good idea? Is this the direction we want to go? And if it is the direction you choose to go when you're writing a story, novel, whatever, how far is too far? You don't want a character that nobody has any interest in. And one of the things I've noticed with the blank face characters, and this might actually be really, really important, is that they're all chosen ones. Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker, Neo from the Matrix. All of these characters that are identified as blank face, as characters that the reader can project themselves onto, are all characters with a special destiny chosen for them from above or whatever. The other types of characters that have their own problems but are more on a more normal level, where they have to surmount things of their own through their own willpower and so forth, they don't quite fall into the blank face category, even if they're not necessarily the most interesting character in the story. So that might be something you want to think about if you're writing the classic chosen one genre. Anyway, this is a thought that I was having about protagonists. I'm going to come back to protagonists and antagonists quite a few times from different angles. But for today, this is what I wanted to discuss: blank faces, and whether or not there's something you should be intentionally doing for your story. Of course, it is up to you. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to get back to you again tomorrow. Have yourselves a good day. Keep writing. I hope everybody's good. Ciao.